Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a whatever publical figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. Today we're going to be talking about Amberlynn's video that she posted just a few hours ago, announcing that she is back to YouTube. I haven't seen the video, so I thought we could go through it together. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, oh my god, I don't even really know how to vlog anymore or how to film a video, but hello. I think it's been almost a year since I've filmed a video. That's kind of crazy, but I'm back and I'm gonna stay, folks. Regardless of what happens in the future, I will be staying. I have missed you guys so freaking much. You guys have no idea. But I was off doing other things, and I'm sure a majority of you know, I was part of the LCU. It was crazy, folks. It was crazy. A lot of ups and downs, publicly, privately, just all over the place. Good things came out of it, bad things, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, because Amberlynn's known for being honest. I have a couple of issues with this first clip. First, she wants to come on here and say, I like you guys so much. I missed my channel, blah, blah. But on the LCU, if you had been watching the whole time, she frequently said, oh my gosh, this is so much better than being on my channel. I like this way more. I'm never leaving. I love the LCU. And not just when Scooter was on, but beyond that, she has made that remark several times. So I'm not really buying this whole I missed my channel nonsense. I don't think that's the case. Second of all, she says, I know you guys probably know that I was on the LCU, but if you didn't, that's where I was and it was so much fun, or whatever she said. But at the same time, she literally didn't make a video about where she was at. She didn't post a community page post, nothing to tell her viewers where she was going to be. She just completely scrubbed her channel, and she did not have to do that. Per her contract with Keem, she was allowed to continue vlogging. And I understand if she didn't want to come back to do vlogging at the same time as doing the LCU, because we know that she's not the kind of person to do multiple things at once. But at the same point, she could just film a 1-minute little advertisement for the LCU being like, hey guys, if you miss me here, I'm over on the LCU, if she really cared about her audience, knowing where she was at. I think she just kind of assumes that everybody knows at all times what she's doing, which, to be fair, most people do. But I'm just saying, if she wants to say that she loves her audience over here and that she missed it so much, you had an opportunity to give little updates, even if it was just every once in a while posting a video being like, hey, I'm still over on the LCU, but this is what we're up to or whatever. You don't like your audience. You're just coming back here either because you think that it's going to earn you more money or because you didn't have a choice based on what your contract with Keemstar says.
Even Keem knows that. I am not one to be shy towards him. I tell him exactly how I feel. I tell him like it is, and I'm not afraid to do so. Long story short, I put a lot of my time and my effort into the LCU that I didn't want to focus on my channel. I kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. But the LCU always came first. I know it was just a 2-hour show twice a day. I was doing Locale Hero and Locale Bus. And it was a lot. It took a lot of my mentals. It took a lot of my mental energy. Locale Hero took a lot of my physical too. I like to get up and dance. We exercised a lot. It was fun, you guys. There are so many good things that came out of the LCU.
To me, it seems like she's trying to get a discharged honorably from the LCU badge, because it does happen where people leave and they're not banned from being talked about or coming back or anything like that. And so I feel like she's trying to appease Keem by being look, this isn't stuff that I'm saying behind Keem's back. Me and him talked about it. And then by highlighting the good stuff she did and giving them a little bit of advertisement or promo or whatever, because maybe people will check out the streams she did on Hero. The other thing is, I don't know how it works in the LCU if she leaves on good terms. She might be eligible to get back payments for the streams if people go and watch them after the fact. I have no idea how that works. So I'm just pointing that out, that could be a factor as well. But she really seems like she is hyping it up a lot more than what we saw on camera. And before anybody wants to say that, she can say whatever she wants about her feelings and that I'm not her, I'm not in her bedroom, I'm not in her heart, I don't know what she's feeling. People said the same thing about when she went up to Wisconsin and she was like, you guys are stupid. Let me feel my feelings the way that I feel them. And then came out and was like, oh, you guys were right. So I feel like it's fair to speculate on her feelings because she's come on and lied about it before.
I met so many amazing people that I still speak to this day. the community of people that I have found due to the LCU is just like, I can't even express how grateful I am, truly. Because being on my own channel, I didn't really have like a sense of community because it always felt like it was like me against girl world, me against thousands. And being in the LCU, it made me realize that like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And I loved that support, and it like truly meant the world to me.
So while I see what she's saying right here, I'm not 100% sure how genuine it is, because the people she got closest to was like, she got close to Sweet Tea and Scooter in the beginning, but then Scooter left, and as far as I know, she never mentions talking to him again. And Sweet Tea and her got into a really bad argument that I don't see Sweet Tea ever forgiving her for. So there's no community with her first set of hosts. Then she came on with Fupa and Tech, and I don't believe she gets along with Tech at all. She says that she was friendly with Fupa behind the scenes. However, I always got the feeling that that was more of like a friendly coworker situation, not something that like would carry on. So if we're looking at who she's really got, it's Christina and Thick Gemini, which, to be fair, I don't think you need to have a huge network of friends. I'm just saying, I don't think that it's like she joined the LCU and made all of these lifelong friendships. I think she probably has Thick Gemini and Christina, and that's pretty much it. I don't really see her talking long-term to any of the other hosts unless it's for some kind of benefit on one of their parts.
I did make some mistakes here and there. I mean, that's part of being human. And I think, like, it needs to be said, the biggest reason why I'm not in the LCU is because I made a mistake that kind of spiraled into Keem being like, well, I might just fire you. It spiraled into me realizing I kind of just need a break. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to the LCU, but it made me realize that like, I just want to focus on my channel right now.
So how do we feel about this? Because I think that the way that I am taking it is I think she was already getting pretty sick of the LCU. I do believe that she quit, which I've said before, and I think that the reason why is because Keemstar really does like to play these little games with everybody who hosts on his show where he'll ban them and then set a goal to bring them back or whatever. Like he goes on these little power trips, and Amber, I think, is feeling like she can do better on her own channel rather than being on the LCU and having to put up with Keemstar's games. The way she's presenting it right now is very neutral, and so I almost feel like what she is saying is genuine, that Keemstar banned her and Thick Gemini and Christina, and she was just feeling like in her feelings, didn't want to keep doing it, wanted a break, didn't want to do the LCU anymore, but that she's leaving a little window open so she can go back if she wants to.
I don't know what the future looks like. I never do, okay? The LCU can be fun, but it can also be scary. And these aren't things that I've been shy about. Like, I've been very vocal. I've been vocal about that, like, behind the scenes and publicly. But that's, like, how it is. Like, the LCU is such, like, a big thing, and it sucks you in. And I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, she's definitely leaving the door open to go back. My understanding is that Keemstar does want her back, but he doesn't want her there during his hiatus. So I don't know if she wants to go back, but she realizes she has to now wait for Keemstar to get back from his trip, or if she really thinks that she's going to have a shot at remonetizing her channel and making more money on her own, and so she's going to stick with this. So I guess we'll have to see, but either way, in August, I think that we're going to get our answer, because I don't think she's going to leave this open-ended forever. The other thing is, I do have to agree with her at the end. The LCU is a huge network of shows, and it is very exhausting as a viewer even. I don't know what it's like behind the scenes, but if you want to catch everything that's going on, you have to be tuned in like 24 hours a day, and then they have this whole A versus B circuit, and so even if there's a show where you're like, oh, okay, this one's boring, I don't need to catch this one, there might be something on the other side that's going on. I mean, there's been drama that I've covered where I have had to bounce between 3, 4, 5 streams to get the full picture, and it is very exhausting. Granted, if you're not making content on it, you can always just choose to not watch every single thing and get the tea from a reaction channel, or just watch one show and hope that they cover everything that you need to know, but I will give her the fact that it is a large network.
Like I said, I went through my highs, I went through my lows, but there was an intern, Christina, hi baby, like she is a really good friend of mine. I love her so much. She did something where we're like questioning girl, is this AI? Is this real? Like, what is actually going on? We all know. We all have a feeling, girl. We all have a feeling that she did some AI stuff, right? And obviously Keem was very upset with that. And so he kind of like fired her from being an intern. And I tried my hardest to like get her back and stuff because she's such good like content. She really knows how to have fun, but she also like brings real good drama and stuff, which is like A+. Like that is like the perfect mixture of what the LCU needs. Is someone who can also like have fun but also like bring the drama. Like you need to have like dimensions. That's why working with Fupa, I was always like, girl, like you only hate me. And then I started working with Angel and I'm like, girl, you only hate me. Like bring the dimensions. We need more.
I understand that she's trying to fill in the gaps for people who didn't follow her over to the LCU, but at the same point in time, Christina is her friend, and she knows that it really bothers Christina to have this situation talked about. And I feel like she could have gotten away just as easily with saying, hey, you know, Keemstar fired one of my friends for something. I didn't want to do the show without her, and so I opted to leave at the same time as her, and could have left it at that. Then she starts talking about what she said to Keem to convince him to keep her on, and I thought she was going to be like, oh, you know, I defended her to Keem because she's such a good person, like so friendly, and also we make a good show together because we have a good dynamic. But instead she starts talking about the content that Christina brought, which I understand if you're appealing to your boss, you want to appeal to the workflow, but that just kind of made me laugh that she didn't have anything like positive to say about Christina. It was all about the drama that Christina brought, as well as not just hating on Amber, which leads her into talking about her other co-hosts who she did feel like were just against her all the time. So then it's like, okay, well, where's the community you were talking about then? It sounds like it's just one person, Christina, and potentially Thick Gemini.
Anyways, Christina was fired as an intern, and when you're fired as an intern, 9 times out of 10, you might be banned from the Discord. And the Discord is a place where I spent a lot of my time. I liked to talk to fans. I like to talk to people who hated me. I finally got to like literally have like phone calls. It was a place for people to have access to me, and I had access to like fans and haters alike. And it was something I never had my 13 years of being on YouTube, so it was crazy.
So on the one hand, she wants to say that she hated her channel when she was on the LCU because it was all haters and she never got to interact with anybody besides people that hated her. Now, in the second breath, she is saying, oh my gosh, like I loved being in the LCU because in the Discord I could talk directly to haters. Like, why would she want that? You know what I mean? I feel like she's probably meaning it in the sense that she would talk to people who didn't like her previously, and then during the LCU got to know her and decided that they did like her, because there was some of that going around in the Discord. But at the same time, like, it's just weird the way she phrased it there, because it sounds like she was enjoying just talking to people talking shit on her.
Christina had like an alt account, went into the Discord, and she was just like listening, and then she started talking, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's Christina. But the whole time she was hot mic'd to me and Gemini, so we heard everything that happened, and that wasn't okay. Like, I shouldn't have done that. As a host there, like you have to like have a certain type of like respect for the rules, and I was known for breaking a lot of the rules. That's just like, I don't know, I just like to be like a little shit stirrer. That's just like who I am.
This is not really lining up with what Keem said happened. Keem said that Amber had Christina go in on an alt account and record the Discord and send it to her so that she would know what everybody was saying behind her back, but she's kind of being a little bit vague about what was going on. She just says that she was on a call with Christina, and that Christina went into the voice chat on an alt and was talking, and people found out that it was Christina because of that. So to me, it almost reads as Christina was doing this of her own free will to hang out with people, and Amber and Gemini just happened to be on the line when she did it. But I'm curious if it's going to line up in a minute here. I'm just saying that already this feels like either Amberlynn is trying to match Keem's story but can't remember what Keem's story was, or that she's trying to avoid taking accountability for something she did wrong, because this is just like, it's so vague and it's not making sense to me why she would choose to present it in this manner. I also don't agree with her characterization of herself that she's a shit stirrer and that's the reason she was breaking all the rules. It's not because she wanted to make drama. Let's be so for real. It's because she thought she was above the rules.
But with this, like, it made a lot of people uncomfortable, and I am sorry for that. Like, that was never my intention. And it obviously made a lot of people upset, including Keem, because it was like, girl, why are you spying on people? Like, what are you doing? That wasn't my intention. I wanted Christina to go in there, honestly, to like make amends, and like she wanted to go in there and talk to people, and it's like, I was there, I heard the whole thing, I shouldn't have been, I take full accountability for that. And Keem said, no, that's like not good, like you're messing with the Voldemort, and it was just like messy. So he was like, you know what, I might fire you. And in that like whole like correspondence, I was like, you know what, like do it.
Okay, so Keem's story is that Amber was recording the VC to hear what was being said about her behind her back. And Amber's story is that she was on a phone call with her two besties, and she was egging Christina on to go into the VC and try to explain her side. Either one of these stories is stupid. Like, Keemstar's story didn't make sense to me when it was being told, because I was like, why would she need to hear what's being reported on her? Because she has people who would report that back to her anyways. So she doesn't need to do that. And then Amber's story doesn't make sense, because why would you have Christina go in there knowing she's banned to say her side of the story? It doesn't matter what the fans think about Christina. It only matters what Keem says. So if you wanted her to be able to defend herself, you could have gone in and spoken on her behalf, but nothing good was going to come of that anyways. So regardless of what happened, it was stupid. But I do appreciate that she's trying to take accountability and say that she feels bad for making people feel vulnerable. I think this is probably one of the best videos of her taking accountability that I've ever seen. I don't think that she actually feels sorry that she did it. I think she's just trying to play nice so she can get back into the LCU, but I appreciate the attempt.
I kind of want to go back to my channel. And I don't know why I can't focus on both things at once. Like, my brain is just like not letting me. I think it's because I genuinely like gave my all to the LCU. I gave my absolute all. And I don't care if people saw that or didn't see that, but I truly did give my all to the LCU. And, you know, it's not a place where I want to say I'm Voldemorted. If you guys don't know what that means that the other hosts cannot speak about you and you pretty much can never come back. I don't want that, because it's like, you know, I want there to be a line open for the future, just in case I do want to come back. As of right now, no.
Keem's not going to bring her back until August no matter what. But I do believe that Keemstar probably wants Amber back more than Amber wants to go back. I think she's just trying to preserve what she's doing here, because she knows that if she can go back on her channel and make more money and that it won't be much work, that's a better option for her. And she probably has learned a lot of tips and tricks from the LCU. I'm curious to see if she goes back to her regularly scheduled programming, or if we see some LCU type behavior on her channel. I'm very curious about that. I'm also curious to see if we're going to get more live streams from her, or if we're still going to see the videos, because the videos was in her contract as okay, but the live streams were not. So that's going to be like a big sign of what's really going on behind the scenes if she does one over the other. Speaking of YouTube channels, before we get back into it, if you guys could like and subscribe if you've liked what I've put out so far and appreciate me getting on this quickly, that would really mean so much to me. I'm really trying to build up this channel, and so I just wanted to throw that out there, but let's get back to the video.
Maybe there could be a place in the future where I can do both things, because the LCU loves me and I love the LCU. Love-hate relationship, okay? Like, I'm fully aware, like, we all know it, girl. Like, it was honestly an experience. And I know you guys remember I was always talking about, like, Keem wants me to come to the LCU, but I don't know if I want to do it. I finally took the plunge. I did it. I was there for 4 months. It was a time. Those 4 months felt like 4 years. It was genuinely like, it's like an experience I'll never forget. And maybe I'll get to do it again sometime. Keem and I both have to agree to that. Not just one of us, because like, I have to be in the right headspace for it. And right now I just don't feel like I am.
She's definitely heading into some kind of like personality rebrand, because I have never heard her talk like this before a day in my life. I think she's trying to gear up to do the whole thing we all know she's going to do, which is to say that she was playing a character on the LCU, because she seems pretty well spoken in this video and like calm, level-headed, like she's trying to take accountability, like she's being pretty reasonable on whose fault it is, accepting some blame while, you know, not completely saying that Keemstar was completely out of the fault, but still leaving enough gray area there where it feels mild, I guess, compared to what she would do in the past. So I don't know if we're getting a rebrand, but it kind of feels like that. This feels very different from how we're used to seeing Amberlynn. Regarding what she's saying about working at the LCU for time's sake, she's saying she was having a hard time doing both because she was like very focused on the LCU and was giving it her all. And she acknowledges that some people aren't going to consider that to be work. Regardless, she was blocked out for 4 hours a day, which is a part-time job. And she's supposed to do meetings, which I know she skipped out on a lot. I don't know how many she actually attended, and if she attended, if they were the length they were supposed to be. But if she has a 2-hour meeting for a 2-hour show, that's 8 hours a day for 2 shows. So I can see where she's coming from, that she might not have had time to do her YouTube on top of it. But I do remember a lot of people saying she missed the meetings, so I don't know how accountable she was on that. So I don't want to speak too much on that. I will say I get the fact that it's totally not a 9 to 5 in terms of like energy and stuff like that. I would absolutely rather be on an LCU show than be doing hard manual labor, but I can see where she might just not have had literal time in the day to do both.
But Keem is the type of guy who likes to fuck around and find out too. Like, he's a troll, but like he's drama alert, for crying out loud, and like he does care about people and he gives people so many chances and all that type of stuff. And I don't want him and I to like truly hate each other. You know, we're gonna talk shit. Like, he's still talking shit. Like, it's okay. Like, it's allowed. Like, we're two people who feel maybe a little fucked over, or like, people just have emotions. Like, that's okay to have. It's okay to talk a little shit, but on the low, I want him to know that he can always message me if he needs something, and I know vice versa. And I think that's what's important about kind of like moving on for now, is like knowing that like, hey, like, we're still friends, but like right now we just like can't work together. And I think that's okay. And I think that's part of like being mature and like being able to move on and stuff.
I see what she's saying, but I feel like that's a weird take. First of all, you shouldn't really be friends with Keem. That's your boss. And he did give her a lot of chances, and she was a pain in his ass. I really did not see very much positive talk from Keem in regards to Amber, especially towards the end. It seemed like he was getting more irritated by her than amused by what profit she was bringing in for him. Also, I thought it was a little weird of her to bring up that she's being mature in this moment. I feel like, I don't know, I would have liked the message a little bit more if she didn't feel the need to say, like, look how mature I'm being in this moment. Especially when, like, a couple of minutes ago, she was like, we both have to agree if I come back, and I'm not in the headspace for that right now. Kind of implying that Keem is ready for her to come back now and that she's the one that's not ready, but I was going to let it slide until she said that, because now I'm like, okay, well, you are a little bit implying that Keem had a pretty large stake in you not being around anymore, that he wants you back and that you don't want to go back. You want to do your channel, but whatever. I mean, like I said, it's still better than what I've seen from her in the past. It's not full crash out. Now, granted, it's probably a matter of time, but I don't know. I do have to say that I like the way she's presenting herself in this video versus how she's been in the LCU and in her past videos, even though I know it's probably just a way to angle at saying that her LCU persona was just a character and wasn't actually her, even though I believe that that was her most authentic self.
I kind of just wanted to talk about like why I've been gone. It's just like, you guys, I've been just so hyper focused on the LCU, and I took a week break, and I kind of just needed to because I'm telling you, I was working like every single day. It was just a lot. Okay. So I took a break and now I'm back. So things for this channel, I don't know. I don't have anything set and planned in stone. I don't have like some schedule that I'm thinking about doing. No, I have already reached, the watch time minutes just by live streaming that one time months ago. So I already have that. All I have to do is apply for monetization, which I haven't done yet because I didn't want to apply for monetization and then just not show up on my channel. I was waiting until like I was ready to come back for real, which I'm ready now. So yeah, I'm really excited, and oh my god, you guys, it's like 2.0 Amberlynn because I have no content on this channel anymore. So it's like starting fresh, hopefully. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I've missed you all so much. And if you guys don't watch the LCU, which I'm sure a lot of you do, go watch it. Like, genuinely, I still am going to support the LCU. It is a crazy ride over there, but it's one that I enjoyed being a part of, okay? Like, when I sit back and I look back, I'm like, I'm so glad that I did that. Like, wholeheartedly. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.
Okay, yeah, so she's just going for full rebrand. She's basically saying, hey guys, don't pay attention to what I did on the LCU. I'm going to talk about them positively so I can go back if this flops, but I'm hoping that you guys won't remember anything from my past since I don't have anything up for you to react to on my channel anymore. And that's just realistically not going to be the case. Everybody's going to remember what she did in the LCU as well as what she's done in her past. So I don't know why she's going on about this Amberlynn 2.0 thing. It's very clear to me that she thinks that she's just going to give it another shot and that maybe people will move on from hating her. And that's just not realistic at this point in time. We've been through the cycles. We know what she's doing. She's in stage 1 of the cycle again. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she's going to post next. I'm curious if she's going to go back to the live streaming or not, but I don't know. It seems like she's kind of angling to go back to the LCU as soon as Keem starts back from his break. I just think it's really funny that she said she didn't want to get monetized earlier because she wasn't ready to commit to the channel. But yeah, she just had a whole week off and didn't think about like a posting schedule, what videos to post, not even what she's going to post next. You know what I mean? She could have given us a little like, oh, just so you guys know, I took a week off, but I did vlog and you're going to get a vlog. You know, like nothing. You didn't put any thought into that at all. So yeah, I don't believe that she missed her YouTube channel. I think she's just trying to see if she can make this more monetizable than what her LCU earnings are, especially since her friends got booted out and she did that whole like, oh, I'm going to stand beside you thing. And now she's kind of locked out of the LCU until August, but we'll see. Anyways, if you made it this far, you guys already know, stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. Catch you in the next one.